All right, welcome to day 4 of the Connection Challenge right here in Club 12, a 7-part series about creating, cultivating, maximizing your personal and professional relationships. Dean Bokhari here, and today we are going to look at what it takes to create a happier, healthier, more loving relationship with your spouse or partner. Right, by the way, if you're single, I've got you covered. Don't worry. In day 5, I'm going to share how you can attract the partner of your dreams. But today, we're going to look at how to strengthen the bond, the love that you have if you're already in a marriage or relationship. You know, one of the coolest and most enriching things that my wife Amna and I have done for our own relationship, for our marriage, is to create a list of mutual commitments or habits for our relationship. And these commitments, right, have brought us closer together as a couple, and they've helped us crush conflicts and disagreements before they arise. So I'm going to share them with you today, and then I'll give you a challenge at the end. So here's the list. Number 1 is compassionate communication or no communication. All right, we talk to each other in a level-headed, compassionate way, or we don't talk to each other at all. And if we can't talk to one another with the love, with the compassion that each of us deserves, then the first one to catch it, right, to realize it, says it with a smile, says, remember, right, compassionate communication or no communication. And this is usually enough to relax the mood a bit, right? And if not, then we both mutually decide to just revisit the issue once, whichever one of us that's pissed off, right, and thus communicating with a lack of passion returns to reality. Number 2. Gratitude good nights. Gratitude good nights. Every night before bed, we take turns telling each other about one thing that we're grateful for about the other. For example, last night I said to Amna that I was really, really grateful for how she navigates motherhood. Right? And then number 3, daily expectations. So every morning we tell or text one another what our individual game plans are going to be for the day. For example, I'm working until 3 p.m. today, or I'll be back from LA at 6 p.m., right? Whatever. This is helpful because our schedules can vary from time to time, right? And I'm guessing yours and your partners do too. And it's courteous to tell each other when we're going to be home or if we're working later than usual on any given day. So that's number 3. Number 4 is to never keep score. Now it's getting good. You know, relationships are places that you go to give, not to get. And I remember a guy once telling me about how he broke even after splitting up with his girlfriend. And what he meant by that was that he didn't spend any more money on her than she did on him. And that, in my opinion, is insanely ignorant. Right? You never keep score in a relationship. Right? Your relationship is going to be infinitely more beautiful if you don't keep score, if you don't tally up who did what and who got what and whether she got more than me and all that stuff. Like, it's, why are you even in a marriage or relationship then? Right? So never keep score. Number 5 is to be impeccable with our language, to be impeccable with our words. Right? This one was inspired by a book called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Great book, by the way, if you haven't read it. And one of the 4 agreements that he discusses in the book is to be impeccable with your word, which means if you make a promise, keep it. When you say you're going to do something, do it. Don't be the type of person who says things people have a hard time believing. And this one serves as a constant reminder to both of us to be impeccable with our word, both with one another as well as with everybody else. Number 6 is to support one another's individual dreams. You know, my wife and I both have big dreams for continued growth. We both do things that we enjoy doing for a living, and we've both got great dreams and ambitions for continued growth in the future. And I think that our ongoing commitment to support each other's dreams, our individual dreams, has had a massive positive impact on our relationship. So support one another's dreams. Number 7 is that marriage is for life. Nobody gets into a marriage if you're looking to get divorced, right? Unless you're my cousin in Uzbekistan who married an American guy just so she could get her U.S. citizenship, but that's a whole different story altogether. The idea is that marriage is sacred. A relationship is sacred. And if you're going to make that kind of commitment, you better take it seriously, right? Take it seriously enough to understand what you're getting into. Most people spend more time planning their wedding than they do planning their marriage. Marriage is for life. Take it seriously if you're going to get into it. Or if you're going to get into a long-term relationship, take it for real. Take it seriously. Don't just break up at the drop of a hat or over a little argument, right? It's something that you want to get into over the long run, long term. So we believe that marriage is for life. And if we have a tough situation that we're dealing with, we deal with it. Obviously, we each have our limits and boundaries, and if those are crossed, then that's a different discussion. But as a whole, generally speaking, we hold that in a very sacred light. Like marriage is for life. We're committed. We're in this for life. Idea number 8. Rule number 8 is to diffuse and alleviate. What does that mean? When shit hits the fan, and you know it can hit the fan every now and then when you're in a marriage or relationship, you've got to diffuse and alleviate. For example, if my wife Amna is feeling super stressed out about something and then takes it all out on me for no good reason, well, it's probably not a good idea for me to start firing back in defense of myself right then and there, is it? The wiser move in that scenario would be to remind myself that she's overwhelmed right now. Right? She's got a lot going on. It's got nothing to do with me. And the best thing I can do as a husband isn't to try and fix it, right? But rather to alleviate the situation by listening to her, tell me all about it, right? And this ongoing commitment has played a crucial role in helping us maintain a healthy and happy relationship. So that's number 8. Number 9 is to be aware of the animal brain. The animal brain is the part of you that says irrational things when you get mad, when you get upset. It's the part of your brain that overrides your smarter, more rational self and instead leaves you saying things that you end up regretting in retrospect. So if you're in a marriage or relationship, this is why, for instance, whenever my wife realizes that she may have said something that triggered my animal brain, right, to go crazy and I get angry, she knows that I probably don't really mean whatever nasty things I end up saying shortly thereafter. And because she knows that, she gracefully backs away for the time being until the calmer, cooler version of me comes back to reality and we can then sit down and actually talk about it. Same goes for her. I do the same thing with her. The idea is to be aware of the animal brain. So we've all got it. Idea number 10 is that it takes 5 positives to eliminate 1 negative. What does that mean? 5 to 1 is the ratio for how many positive impressions I need to make on my wife to make up for telling her that she sucks at managing her time, for example. Right? So if I say something negative or I say something that hurts her, or if I do something, right? And same with her. It takes 5 positives just to neutralize that 1 negative thing. So if you get into an argument or something, you're having a hard moment with your partner and you're the one who screwed it up, it's on you to turn that negative or neutralize that negative with 5 positive impressions. Idea number 11 is to text information, not emotion. What do I mean by that? It's really hard to convey feelings through a text message, isn't it? Right? If one of you misunderstands the meaning of the text, it can turn into an all-out war between the two of you. For example, right, if you text your spouse, "Oh, wow, babe, nice job breaking the dishwasher," right? Were you playfully teasing? Were you actually annoyed about it? Were you being passive aggressive, masking frustration with humor? Are you trying to soften the criticism, right? Your spouse doesn't know, right? You might not know what your intent is if you text it, but in person, right? You can say it with a smile. You can say it with a laugh to clarify it instantly, right? So text information. But when it comes to emotions and feelings, it's better to speak it out face to face, right? Information is stuff like, I'll be home at such and such time. Can you pick up my meds at CVS? Can you grab sun butter from Trader Joe's, right? That's information. Feelings and emotions are things that you know could potentially be misconstrued or misunderstood by your partner. Stuff like, sarcastic jokes, which I'm kind of big on. Things like, if you're feeling angry about something or frustrated about it, just go up to your partner and just talk to them about it. Or say, hey, I wanted to talk about that thing that you said earlier. It didn't really sit well with me. If we could talk about it later, I'd appreciate it. Right? Instead of saying, why did you say that, blah, 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 how could you say something like that? Right? It's not going to help either. So text information, not emotion. Speak about emotions. Speak about things that involve your feelings face to face. And idea number 12, or rule number 12, is the 6-second kiss. Right? Instead of a quick smooch and bye, right? Kiss your partner and hold it for 6 seconds. Why? Because that's how long it takes to trigger the release of a chemical that we all make called oxytocin, which is something your body makes to reduce stress and to strengthen the emotional bond that you have with your spouse. So my wife and I do this every day, at least once a day at some point throughout the day. Just a kiss, hold it for 6 seconds. It'll deepen your bond. And then the final thing that I've got for you here is to use conversations to get closer. Right? This idea we picked up from my wife's mentor, Barbara. And what she shared with us, we started to implement as well, and it's been huge. Before every major conversation that we have together, right, especially for the serious stuff, we sit down, we look each other in the eyes, and we say, let's use this conversation to bring us closer together, not further apart. Let's use this conversation to bring us closer together and not further apart, right? Especially for the big convos, this is huge. It just kind of sets the tone for love, for connection, rather than battling each other, which is often what big conversations can turn into with your spouse or partner. So that's it. 13 rules for a happy, healthy, loving marriage or relationship. Now, what is your challenge for today? Your actionable insights for today? What I'd like you to do is to select one of these 13 ideas that I shared with you, and then go teach it to your partner or share it with your spouse or partner, and then together commit to trying it for at least 30 days. See how it goes. If it strengthens your relationship, wonderful, continue doing it. If you want to continue trying out some of the other ones that I've shared after your first 30-day cycle, then go for it. But for today, just pick one of the rules that I shared with you, go and share it or teach it to your partner, and then together commit to trying it for at least 30 days and see how it strengthens your relationship. I'll see you tomorrow in day number 5 of the Connection Challenge.